Thanks to the support as a channel member, Orhan Guk. Well, we squeezed one more player in on deadline day in the end, and it's going quite well because as of right now, we are just above the all-important Kev ratio. Hello and welcome to Club 2, part 16 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Premier League. We're away against Tottenham and at home against Bournemouth. Since you were last with me, this is what's been going on. We, as you would expect, lost to Manchester City. Disappointingly, got a draw against Burnley, a late equaliser from Burnley in that game, and then beat Burnley comfortably in the Moose Cup game that came a couple of days later. An impressive draw away against Newcastle. A little bit of a friendly purely for fitness reasons. And then a narrow defeat against an Aston Villa team who we were 2-1 up against and then went down to 10 men and unfortunately let Villa back into the game. Another disappointing result, a draw against Norwich, a Norwich team we know we were better than last year. But we beat Middlesbrough in the EFL Cup with our reserve team and then went on to beat Fulham comfortably in our most recent Premier League match, a 3-0 win in that one. So the Premier League table is looking like this. 8 matches in. We've got 9 points on the board. If you're not familiar with the Kev ratio, basically, if we want to survive in a league, you just need to make sure you've got more points than matches played. We've played 8 matches. We've got 9 points. We're ahead of the Kev ratio. Not only that, Adam Eder is the second top scorer in the Premier League. This guy who's ahead of him looks like he'll probably take some catching. I'm not completely familiar with him. I might give him a little bit of a scout because he's scored a lot of goals. Seems to have a decent average rating. He's probably a decent bet for us to maybe look to bring in January. I don't know if he's likely to be available, but he looks quite good. But him aside, Adam Eder right there behind him, and Russell Ross, the revelation of the season so far, joint top for assists, 4 assists for us in 8 matches. He's incredible. I don't know why no one else really wanted to bring him out of that Wigan team. He'll be playing for England within 2 years, I think. He is awesome. Just very awesome. I mentioned we brought in one more signing on deadline day. It's a player from Manchester United. It's in a position we were looking to strengthen. We brought in Sean Longstaff to play the box-to-box midfielder and then found a player who could potentially do it even better. Alex Scott from Manchester United can play anywhere in the middle, really. Can cover that defensive midfield position, the deep line playmaker role if we need him to, but he can also play as a mezzala or a box-to-box midfielder in central midfield, or we could get him doing centre mid on attack if we want to go down that route. Could even play him as an attacking midfielder where he's also very strong if we want to play with that system. He's on loan until the end of the season because we didn't have enough money left in our budget to buy him, but we do have the transfer pre-arranged. He joins us permanently for £7 million next summer, and he looks pretty decent so far in his early couple of matches. So without further ado, let's get into this game against Tottenham, who are having a struggle of a start of the season. Spurs actually below us in the league, horrible goal difference. And if we can pick up any kind of result here, things are going to be looking quite good for us. These are 2 very important matches. In fact, we've got a spell of 3 really important Premier League matches in a row. We're away against Tottenham, home against Bournemouth. You'll see both of those. And then we're also at home against QPR, who came up with us last year. If we can, I mean, we've got to be looking at that run of fixtures, thinking if we're serious about staying in the Premier League, we've got to get 7 points from these next 3 matches, which is a tall order for a team that have only got 9 from 8 so far. But we will be looking pretty strong and mid-table if we can come out of these smelling of roses. This is the team that we're sending to Tottenham. We've got Blanco in goal, a back 4 of Ballotori, Pascozzi, De Klerk and Walters. Whiteman at the base of the midfield, Longstaff and White ahead of him, Sartori on the left, Ross on the right, and Adam Eder up front. I still don't completely know who my best 11 is. There's been a lot of early season rotation. You know how this normally goes. We rotate a lot. We try lots of different things in the first half of the season. Then we get into the second half of the season, and usually I've got a better idea of who my best 11 is, and we tend to go with them for the second half of the season. There doesn't appear to be any Harry Kane in this Tottenham team. I'm not sure if they've sold him. They've got Mudryk, which is an interesting one. Clearly in this university. I mean, I'm recording this a few days in advance. Maybe he's not going to sign for Arsenal after all. Who knows? Maybe he will go to Tottenham. But I don't know if Harry Kane is injured or sold. Either way, I suspect that's why Tottenham are having such a tough start to the season. if they are playing Caneless. Sartori back to Ballo-Touré, and now White dinks it across to Russell Ross. Double R, Russell Ross, the man with two first names, is there to tuck it in at the far post. It's the former Spurs man, Harvey White, with the cross. And that'll do. That'll do very nicely indeed. This is more of what I expected from Ross when we brought him in. The big 6 foot inside forward. That's the kind of thing. Not the getting into nice positions and playing lovely through balls that he's become known for. That's what I mean. If he can do both, he's just going to continue to get better and better. The important thing is, as it stands at the moment, it is Tottenham 0, Preston 1. Look at the match stats. We are absolutely good value for our 1-goal lead at the moment. Spurs haven't even had a shot yet. We've had 5 corners. We've had 10 shots. We have come out of the blocks pretty extravagantly, and now we just need to go and add to our lead. I think capitalise when we're playing well, because if we let Spurs back into the game, they do have some quality. I don't even know what that bounced back off of. The post, maybe? Looked like it bounced back off the advertising board. But yeah, we don't want to give Son too many opportunities to get chances like that inside the 6-yard box. Ross gives the ball away relatively comfortably there, but Pascozzi's there to win it back, and Spurs have got... I mean, looking at the players Spurs have got here, this does look like a good Spurs team. They just don't have a striker currently, but I don't see any reason why they should be in a relegation battle. So I would expect them to get back into this game as it goes on. And once again, Son with the opportunity. And this time, Blanco is equal to it. He is very much looking the part in goal for us so far this season. But it is a Spurs in swinging corner to that far post. And Milinkovic-Savic is in there. And any Streamer Showdown veteran viewers will know just what a threat he is from this kind of situation. These set pieces, these balls into the penalty area, he is an absolute unplayable monster. But we got away with it there. But they are shooting again from the edge of the area, and luckily goes high and wide. Still 1-0 to us. Spurs have definitely got back into it a little bit in the final 10 minutes or so of this first half. They're actually ahead on XG now. But de Klerk sort of heads it clear. Walters is beaten to the header. And the Spurs have finished this first half very, very strongly. It was basically, as soon as I said that they are better than they appear to be, they decided to go out there and prove it, which is unacceptable, really. Longstaff in midfield plays it out to Walters on the right-hand side. If we can grab a second half, we started the first half really strong. We can do it again in the second half. That would be super duper. That's a miss hit from Milinkovic, and now Sartori beats his man. That's lovely work from Sartori. What a goal from Gabriel Sartori. My word, he was the first player we brought in the summer. Questions may have been asked when we brought him in for such a large fee, the most expensive signing in the history of the football club, and he has taken his time to get settled into this team. But goodness me, did that look like a goal of a man who was settled in. Beats his man, beats the goalkeeper at the near post. It's Tottenham 0, Preston 2. We have started the second half as quickly as we started the first. Now we just need to not balls it up from here, because genuinely, I'm looking at this thinking, with the next 2 matches we've got the opportunity to do 4 consecutive wins here. They've just brought on Ameth Tall, who is a striker that we wanted in the summer, who went to Spurs instead, showing just how desperate things have got, that they're bringing on a striker who we wanted and probably wouldn't be. I mean, he'd be on our bench. He wouldn't be in the team ahead of Adamida. Right, we need to just keep things nice and fresh here. Thierry Small's going to come on. Longstaff is tiring, so we can bring on... I think we're actually going to... No, we will bring on Rafa and put Harvey White to the box-to-box midfielder. And Adam Eder can come off for Brobby. Brobby and Eder are kind of rotating a little bit in this striker position at the moment, although Eder is the one scoring all the goals. But Brobby does look dangerous when he gets the opportunity, and he's getting 20 minutes worth of opportunity today. Blanco just needs to collect that in. He does. Is he taking that out for a corner? Thought he did for a minute there. I was about to tell him off because he has looked very solid so far, but that would have been silly. But it wasn't silly. He got away with it. That is quite silly from de Klerk. We're doing this little passing the ball around again, trying to look fancy, and this time we have got away with it. Thierry Small coming forward on this left-hand side, plays it into White. Harvey White has been brilliant since we've entered the Premier League. And Rafa is in, and Ross is there as well with the follow-up, and it's absolute chaos in the penalty areas for Spurs, but they do scramble it away. A goal line clearance, but Rafa involved. Ross involved again. Oh, my word. When we play well, we look like a very, very good team, bringing it out of defence and creating chaos going forward. We're going to bring on Deshaun Bernard at the back, and I think we'll take off Ben Whiteman as well, who's on a yellow card. We can bring on Carrasco to just sit at the base of that midfield. In fact, we're going to put White back there. Harvey White, such an important player, can cover everywhere, and Carrasco can go forward into central midfield as we try and maintain the energy in there. Walters has given away a penalty here, which is sloppy and unnecessary. The guy is running out of space. He's running out of football pitch there. There's nobody in the middle. There's just no reason to make that foul in that position. It's just naivety from a young defender, and hopefully it's not going to cost us points today. Blanco, I'd very much like to see him make the save if that could be arranged, and he does. Oh, my word. What a signing Blanco is turning out to be. What a risk he was. An 18-year-old untried goalkeeper who can't speak any English has just fitted straight in and looks like a Premier League goalkeeper. Such an important signing. And now Spurs coming at us again, but Pascozzi is there to tackle, and Rafa scrambles it clear looking for Brobby, but he can't hold it up. It comes straight back. It doesn't matter because the highlight ends, and I think we are going to be picking up a famous victory here. Milinkovic-Savic on a 5.8. Bless his cotton socks. I mean, that is... I think I'm safe to say now that we've probably won this football match. Poor old Spurs, eh? They are in a relegation battle. They have got what should just be a consolation goal there through Mudryk, but there shouldn't be enough time for them to grab an equaliser. I'm doing their obituary here, so I don't really need them to come back in and grab another one and make me look like a silly goose. I'll have to re-record some things if that happens. Was that Pascozzi just waving his foot at it? Either way, it doesn't matter. We've come to North London and we've come back with 3 points. We're 10th in the Premier League, and now we've got 2 winnable home games back to back. Alan Maidana says, get rid of the 4-3-3 DM wide. What, the one that just beat Spurs away from home? You're an idiot, Alan. Just an idiot. Well, a couple of weeks have passed as an international break took place. We had a nice little 20-0 win against Garstang, which, I mean, that just seems like a made-up place. Jake O'Brien getting 5 goals in the friendly. I suggest corners were probably quite effective in this match. 9 corners, 7 goals for our centre-backs. I mean, I haven't checked they're all from corners, but I think it's safe to assume the majority of them were. Good performances as well from Brobby and Sunjic. I mean, just everybody playing very well in that game. Very handy to have these friendlies when, especially because we've only got a few players going away on international duty at the moment. It does allow the likes of Sunjic and Brobby to get game time, keep fit, keep in form, which is all good stuff, while the likes of Ida and Ross are off gallivanting doing their international duty. So just a couple of changes from the team from the Spurs game. I can't remember what the changes are, but I know that front 3 is the same. Longstaff, Scott and White. Don't think Scott started against Spurs. And then at the back, we're going Ballo-Touré, Burns, de Klerk and Walters. I think Burns didn't start in the Spurs game either. Like I say, it's been a few weeks and we've had a different match in between. I can't keep track of who was in the Spurs team now. But let's get out there and hopefully pick up what would be a 3rd Premier League win in a row if we can beat Bournemouth. I will start to be feeling a lot more confident about this season if we can pick up a victory here, because, like I say, I mean, what would that be? 15 points on the board after 10 matches? That's very good work in relation to the Kev ratio if we can pull that off. Of course, there is going to come a time this season where the wheels come off a little bit. If we're having a run of matches against teams down at our end of the league, that means at some point we're going to get a run of matches against teams up the other end of the league, and that's probably going to be a little bit messy for us, because we do like to play our little playing out of the back, nice tippy-tappy football, which is all well and good when you're better than the opposition, or at least in better form than the opposition. When you try and do that against the big clubs, you can be made to look like a silly goose on occasion. Good work there from Walters winning the ball back. Unfortunately, it does end up straight back with Bournemouth again, but Lovely to see my right back doing slide tackles in the right wing position, although I probably would be less enthused about it if he'd have got a good old red card. You know, we love a red card. There is Scott playing it to De Klerk. De Klerk, who is probably the one player in this 11 who's not in great form currently, according to his average rating. He's also our best player, according to star rating. So we have to give him the opportunity to keep playing. And Harvey White, I mean, he was good last year. He has made the step up to the Premier League, though. And just look, he looks on another level. He can play in any of these three central midfield positions that we've got. It doesn't matter which one we put him in. He puts in a performance. And when we play him a little bit further forward, he weighs in with goals as well. Russell Ross with yet another assist as well. This is becoming a football team. There's been no sniff of any bigger clubs coming in for me yet, which is good. Because I really want to see how good this Preston team can become, because I feel like we're building something glorious here. I'm not getting carried away thinking this team will ever win the Premier League or anything like that, but I am looking at it thinking, carry on as we are. You know, we might get a season in Europe. We might win an FA Cup or something. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Blanco, once again, showing what a signing. I'm so delighted with Zelmar Blanco. The fact that felt like such a huge risk doing that, knowing how difficult goalkeepers have been to come by in my other FM23 saves. I mean, just finding one with the amount of potential that he's got, and he's just stepped right in and looks awesome. It's wonderful. We've got a corner now. White looking for that near post where Finley Burns is there. And Adam Eder with the follow-up to make it 2-0. A seventh goal of the season for Eder. I mean, near post corners will never die, everybody. I've got a video coming out this weekend where we're talking a little bit about corners. And I think I make the point in that far post is probably the way to go these days. Spoilers. There's your proof. If we didn't have any in that video, which we might not have done, that near post corners are still just as effective. I mean, the trick is you need someone who's 6'5", 6'6", like Finley Burns, and it doesn't matter then. You aim for the big guy. There you go. There's your spoiler for the entire video. Adam Eder has just got his 8th of the season. It is 3-0. Ladies and gentlemen, I am an established manager in the English Premier League. And look at us go. Relegation. There's no fear of relegation. What a team. I'm giddy. Look at the league table. 10 games in. We're in 8th place. Oh, my word. I know the rough form will come at some point this season. I'm ready for it. I'm under no illusions. But right now, goodness me, am I enjoying this run that we're currently on. Look at Harvey White crunching in again with the tackle. He is just a complete central midfield player. And there's Ballo-Touré coming across to cover as well. Longstaff. Even Longstaff looks good. Wonderful stuff. Scott gives the ball away there, though. And we need to just make sure that we don't get too carried away. Like I say, I'm feeling giddy. But I don't want the players feeling too giddy. There's still 35 minutes of this match left. That's more than long enough for us to throw things away and let Bournemouth back into this game. And that would be an absolute disaster when we've got ourselves into such a strong position. Right, we are going to look in terms of substitutions. Adam Eder's going to come off. He is tired legs. He's been away on international duty. Robbie can come on. Quick Pick actually wanted to start Robbie today. So Robbie can come in for the final 20 minutes. Alex Scott has now picked up a knock as well. So I think we'll just bring Carrasco on for him. Nice, easy change in there. And Rule Walters for Deshaun Bernard and be our third change for now. That's a fairly standard one. Bernard getting most of his game time at right back these days, where he does look pretty comfortable. The only problem is he's in the way of Simon Darlington, who we might actually send out on loan. I think he's at such a crucial point in his development. It would benefit him to have another season in the Championship. I think we probably got promoted a year too soon for Darlington and his development. Longstaff, though, playing the ball over to Sartori on this left-hand side, who couldn't quite get hold of the ball, but Ballo-Touré wins it back, and Longstaff playing it forward to White, who nods it down to Brobby, and there's Russell Ross, and he can't quite keep it the right side of the post, but it's been another very good performance from Russell Ross, who, similar to Harvey White, has just stepped up to the Premier League as if he's been playing his entire career here. Right, Ballo-Touré for Small, another one of our standard changes that we do in pretty much every match as we continue the development of Thierry Small, and Ben Whiteman can come on for the final 10 minutes, sat in front of that back four. It's another corner. It's going to be Harvey White swinging it into that far post where Burns is there again and de Klerk is there for the follow-up. And this is why you need to watch my corners video coming out tomorrow, boys and girls, because they're still very effective, as you can see. This time it's the far post one that is the focus of that video, and it's lovely work from Burns to nod it down, and de Klerk's just there to follow it in. Beautiful. 4-0 to Preston. We're winning 4-0 in the Premier League. We're in a European qualification spot. I need to go and have a lie down. Have we got time to do one more? Harvey White, and there's Finley Burns, and goodness me, he deserves a goal today, but couldn't quite keep that one down under the crossbar. It ends 4-0. We end the episode in a European qualification spot. We play QPR next as well. We've got the chance to make it 4 in a row. What a start to life in the Premier League. I'm having a lovely time. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.